Right, so due to the configurability of robots now, there's a lot more upgrades. So some of the things that were built in before are now upgrades. This includes, as we've seen already, the inventory. But another thing is the experience upgrade. So robots were able to, and are still able to, gather experience to use tools more efficiently. And this is basically now an extra upgrade. So you can craft this and install it in your robot and it will behave just the way it did before, but it's an upgrade. I'll just give myself the new items, I think, for a second. Spoilers. Spoilers. Right. Okay. So these are cards. These we can do afterwards. Right, the experience upgrade, as I just said. There's battery upgrades, which are basically just capacitors. So these grant some additional capacity of energy storage to the robot. If you don't have the capacity, complexity available to install experience upgrade, which will also still grant additional capacity per level. But it's tier 3, so it consumes quite a lot of capacity. So these upgrades, capacitor upgrades, may be a bit more realistic to use. There's also a Chunkloader upgrade now. So if you have a robot that should just go somewhere and do its thing, you can use that. It should work. So yeah, you can use that. And another new upgrade is the inventory controller upgrade. So what this does is, let me see, do I have this one here? Does it have? No, it doesn't. Yeah. Okay, let's build a new robot. Graphics card, RAM. Because I'd like to demonstrate these real quick. OpenOS. And then we'll just take some upgrades here.
Oh, the complexity is over 9,000.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Okay, and just for the sake of it, we need one inventory upgrade. Okay, looks good. So let's use this one. This upgrade, the inventory control upgrade, is used to, well, as the name may suggest, give the robot more control over inventories. So if I take a chest and I put the chest in front of the robot and I put something in the chest, like a chest, then I can now use the inventory. So before you could just use robot.suck to get the item out, and then you could use robot.drop to put it back in. So this is not changed, this was always there. What you can do now with this upgrade is you can specify specific slots to suck from and drop into. So controller hardware. Exactly. So this upgrade allows you to basically query information more specific than it would normally be able to. So we can say suck from slot. Alright, and there we need to provide the side from which we want to suck. So this is the front side, so side's front. And then the slot. So this is this one here. Let's say we want to take from slot 1, which will not work because there's nothing there. But if we try to suck from slot 2, there's the chest. And the same works for dropping into inventories. So I think it's drop into slot, I'm not sure. See, yes, looks good. Yep. So if you have some machines, for example, which have specific needs as to where items need to go in them, you can use this upgrade to drop the items into the necessary slots. For example, for the robot assembler. The other neat thing the upgrade does is it allows robots to swap out the tool they have equipped with an item in their inventory. So if I place this in its inventory and then say equip, it will equip the item that was in the selected inventory slot, and if I do it again, it will take it out again. So this you can use to basically make your robots a bit more autonomous, to swap out tools if they start to break, for example.
I think that was something that was requested very often.
Yeah, it was basically a popular demand, yeah. So a lot of people wanted that. And here it is. That's that.
Okay. So that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Well, let's talk about it right now. In 1.32, which may or may not be out at this point, depending on when you watch this video, there will be one more upgrade, which is this one. Let's just throw it in, that you see it also. It has a nice name. Basically, all it does is, instead of just sucking items from directly before, above, or below it, you can collect items from a radius around the robot. So if you use, for example, your robot for a tree farm, it can be very helpful to collect saplings and things like that. So that's that.
So
And you dropped a block. I see it. You dropped a block. Yeah. So that's it for upgrades.
So how I can do then C dot tractor beam or something, and then
Well,
suck,
C is currently the inventory controller, but yeah, you can.
I mean components. Sorry.
I think it's, what was it named? Let's see. Components. Tractor beam, yes. So if you go ahead and enter this, you will see the methods on it, and there's one method which is basically suck. So yes, just returns a boolean. So is the item still lying around? Yes.
I think so.
Yep, and it picks it up. Wonderful. Good. What a nice segue to this block. In 1.32 there will also be one more block, which is the one you're holding right now.
The motion sensor.
Indeed. So, because I thought that a pure radar block, which just lets you read out information on any entity surrounding the block, would be a little too easy, I decided to go with a slightly different design. This is, as the name says a motion sensor. So if you have this attached to a computer, it will generate events if living entities move that are close enough to it. So let's see, let's drop it, place it next to this one here, this computer.
Yeah, before?
Just next to it. I don't care, anywhere next to it, yeah. So if you now look at the components, there should be the motion sensor. And I don't think, oh yes, it does have, actually it does have some methods. It has component an option to set the sensitivity. So the sensitivity is basically the amount of delta in an entity's position, so how far it moved in, I think, 1 second before the sensor triggers. And if it does trigger, it will, let's just do a while loop. It will generate, oh god, I don't even know the name anymore, events. So move around a bit, if you would.
Oh, me.
Yes, you. There's no one else here. So now you can see, oh, he's moving, and it generates events. So stop moving. Yeah, it generates motion events, and the address is, as usual, the address of the component that generated the event. So this is the motion sensor here. And the other parameters are the coordinates of the entity that moved and the name of the entity that moved. So you can use these, for example, to, I don't know, automatically turn on the lights if something moves around your house or something like that. It does need a direct line of sight to the entity. So if you move behind the computer so that the block can't see you, if you would. Oh, well, that might work or not. It's not moving enough. Move, bitch! Yes, you see, there's the skeleton. So if I move behind the computer... God, this is loud! It won't die. Alright, so if I'm here, it should see me. It doesn't see me. Does it see me?
And there is nothing happening, so it doesn't see you. Now it sees you
now
again.
it sees me. Yeah, so if I hide behind these computers and jump happily up and down, it won't see me. So yeah, you need a direct line of sight. So if it's somehow obfuscated behind some other blocks, it won't work. So you actually have to place it somewhere out in the open. And that's that. Also 1.3.2. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so finally we can come to the cards.
Dum 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 dum.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, there's 2 new cards, if I'm not forgetting anything. Let me check. Yep, looks good. So one is the linked card. This is basically a tier 3, sort of tier 3 network card. You can use this to create a link between 2 computers across any distance and across dimensions, but you can only communicate point to point. So if you craft these, you'll see you actually get 2. And these 2 cards will then be linked together. So if you craft multiple linked cards, you will always get pairs of linked cards. So only these 2 cards can talk to each other. Exactly. So these are quite powerful because you can bridge dimensions and very long distances, but you can just use these to communicate point to point. So you can't do broadcasts or anything. And the neat thing about those as well, they have a slightly different API for sending messages. I need a tier 3 computer. Go there. Go there. Graphics card. So for sending, you don't have to specify port or anything. You just say send that message, and it'll send it because, well, there's only one receiver anyway. Component, no, it's called tunnel, I think, yes. So for send, you just send the data to the other card. As simple as that. For receiving, on the other hand, you have the exact same format as you get modem messages. So you basically don't have any special code. You don't have to make differentiation between messages received from wireless network cards, or tunnels linked cards. They look all the same. They're all modem message from type and all have the same parameters. So that makes that a bit easier. Right.
Okay.
That's that. And the final change is there's a tier 2 Redstone card now. So basically what this is, the Redstone card has been split in 2. Like, take a saw, cut it in half. The tier 1 Redstone card is exclusively for vanilla Redstone behavior. So you can read the analog Redstone, you can set the analog Redstone, all that. But if you have any mods that provide special Redstone logic, like bundled cables or wireless Redstone, you will now need the tier 2 Redstone card. And as before, it supports Project Red Logic, MindFactory Reloaded. And for wireless Redstone, it supports Chicken Bones Wireless Redstone Edition and... the other way around. Wireless Redstone, Chicken Bones Edition, sorry. And the Slime Void Redstone, Wireless Redstone. So you can directly check if certain frequencies are set or not and emit signals through certain frequencies. So that's that. So the wireless stuff is new. The other stuff was there before, but is now, just for clarity, split up into a separate tier. And I think that covers most of it. So the only other thing that might or might not be worth mentioning is that you can now, I think this will also be in 1.3.2, I think, have colored floppies, because people were asking for this like crazy, and even though the labels are rendered on the floppies, it's not good enough apparently, so now you have colors too. Basically all you do is take a floppy and take a color and craft it together, and you get the colorized floppy, which apparently doesn't show properly in any eye, but it works. At least it did work once. Let's test. Give me lapis. And give me a crafting table because I can't craft. Lapis disk. Yeah. So you can colorize your floppies. This is no influence whatsoever on the contents of the floppy or so. It's just a nice visual thing.
Yeah,
So,
and you can store them better or so.
Yeah, well, you see them by color in the world, yes. As I said, I mean, in the inventory you always have the label rendered directly onto the floppy, but yeah, it's nice. I agree. So there it is. Good. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Oh my god, I almost forgot. I forgot. Final big change in 1.3.2. It's super exciting. Or something like that. Let's build something. We need some switches. Because switches can now be upgraded. Ooh.
Oh.
Cool, right? So switches are limited in the speed by which they can pass along messages. So if you send a network message and it comes to a switch, the switch will store it and then process it at some later point, basically. And the default queue size is 20, I think, and oh well, let's just look. So yes, the default queue size is 20, and the default packets per, well, operation basically that it forwards is per default 1, and it does this 4 times per second. So if you have a very active network, this can run out of space pretty quickly, so you go away. And I need a network card. And why don't I see anything? There we go. So if I go ahead and say 444, let's generate, I don't know, 20 packets. Let's just broadcast these. It's just for testing. So you'll see the queue is pretty full and it gets empty pretty slowly, and what this number here basically means is that for each operation the left number was how many packets there would have been to process, and the right one is how many it can process. So if this gets higher than the right one, you have latency in your network. That's basically not really necessary. And if the number here down here gets red, so the queue size, then you basically have dropped packets. So if I generate more than 20, and then the queue gets full, and anything more than that will just get dropped. So you can upgrade these with, as the icons may indicate, with CPUs, RAM, and hard drives, each for the according stat, basically. So if I take a CPU and slap it in, then it now transfers 5 packets per second. For the tier 2 CPU it's 6.67, and for the tier 3 CPU it processes 10 packets per second. And for the RAM, no, not RAM, memory. Memory. Let's just take any one. So per half tier of memory, basically you get one more packet that is transferred per cycle. So for this configuration now you can basically transfer 50 packets per second, because it's for these 10 times per second that something gets transferred, 5 packets get transferred. And hard drives basically just increase the queue size by 10 per tier. So the ultimate switch you can have has 50 queue, 7 per tick per cycle, and 10 per second transfer operations. So you can use this to basically build some more powerful network infrastructure, maybe in the center of your base or something, and that's that.
Okay, that's very nice.
Simple.
I like that.
Simple, easy, but does the job. So basically, maybe just as a visual something, if we send one packet, we see it goes roughly this quick. So and if I slap in some CPUs, that's the wrong one. Let's go with a good one. It should go a lot faster. Yep. So it's quite noticeable. And that's that. And now I think it's all covered. I think. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. Yep.
Yeah, if not, well, we will cover this in the next video.
Exactly.
For
exactly.
1.4.
Exactly. So yeah, so we see now the chip we put in the beginning is done, and we got almost all of it out, but one iron nugget got lost in the process.
No!
Oh.
Iron nugget! Oh,
The horror.
my valuable
So, yeah.
resource! Okay.
For stuff like this, of course, it doesn't matter much, but let's say you put in a robot with, I don't know, an experience upgrade that has 30 experience levels stored in it. It can hurt.
Yeah, of course.
So that's that. Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I think this was very nice. There were many changes. We hope you have much fun with everything. And yeah, if you have any questions, well, to put them best, what's your
Well, yeah, if you have any
way?
questions, well, depends. So if you're on IRC anyway, just come to the OpenComputers channel on IRC and Aspernet, which is just OC. Or, well, the simplest for most people would probably the Minecraft forums. Just go to the thread for OpenComputers on the Minecraft forums and post there. I read that pretty regularly. Alternatively, there's a dedicated OpenComputers forums too. So if you want, just have a look at there. There are some custom programs posted there too, and some add-on mods, and a lot of neat stuff. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and if you notice some bugs, please don't post them under the video, but go to the GitHub page.
Oh yes, please, definitely. So if there are any bugs, if they're bugs, I don't know what to do. But if there are bugs, please go to the GitHub and report them there. I can't promise to read the YouTube comments, so please do go to the GitHub and report the issues there. Thank you.
Okay, then I think that's it for today.
Yep.
So thank you very much for watching. We hope that we could inform you, and yeah, you got a good feeling what's happened and what you can do. So yeah, be creative, impress us with your creations, and
write nice programs.
Correct. And yeah, maybe if you have a very good program, you can put it also on GitHub, and it will be added to the package manager repository. What was it called? Was it package manager?
Yeah, it's the OpenPrograms package manager. So basically, if you guys manage a group on GitHub which is called OpenPrograms, and if you want a repository there in that group, don't be afraid to ask. Just come to either the forums, so the OpenComputers forums, or the RSC channel, and ask, and you'll get a repo there, and you'll get easily into the OPPM, so the package manager. It's really easy, and it's quite nice to have all of this just at the tip of your fingers.
Yeah, and I think that's very nice to really have a community creating programs and to have them available in-game without an update of the mod itself. So
yeah, absolutely. So
okay.
Oh right, maybe one last remark regarding updates that just triggered this. If you install OpenOS on a hard drive, keep in mind that if anything in OpenOS changes across versions of OpenComputers, so if there are any bug fixes or patches in there, you will have to reinstall from the OpenOS floppy to your hard drive to get the latest updates, because it's a separate set of data, so it will not automatically be updated. You actually have to update by reinstalling from the floppy disk, just as a reminder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there an update check?
Well, no, basically just slap in the OpenOS floppy and run install again.
Okay.
And it will just overwrite all the files and update it.
But the local user custom files won't.
Nothing gets deleted. So the only changes that would get lost is if you changed any files that are from OpenOS. So let's say you change some library. So let's say you change the package library or something. When you reinstall, that would get overwritten. So keep that in mind. But if you have any additional files, those will not be touched.
Well, I think most users won't...
Can live with that, yes.
Yeah. So, and yeah, the rest can copy their changes and do them again, I think.
Exactly.
Or if they are so good that they must be in there, well, make a pull request.
Exactly. Do that. Pull requests are usually pretty welcome. So.
Okay.
Right.
So.
Finally.
Yeah. Finally. Okay.
Now we're done. Oh no! Wait. No, I'm really done.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, as soon as we or you put in some new features, I think we'll come back with a new video.
Yep.
I hope
Definitely.
this time we won't skip a version, but
We'll see. Depends on how much time we have.
yeah,
But
the favorite topic. Yeah, but yeah,
Oh,
for this.
I did forget. Oh, anyway. Not so important.
What? Okay.
Well, I did. Okay, let's talk about it. There's one more change, which will probably be in 1.3.2, which is, as you might have noticed, the font looks somewhat different to before. So, thanks to further contributions from people, we now have a new font renderer, which uses the Unifont, which basically has characters for whatever you can think of, more or less. So, let's see, if I copy some Japanese in there, that actually works now. So you can have a lot more characters now. So it's not limited to code page 437 as it was before. But, well, I think it's 57,000 characters from the Unicode.
I think that's
points.
enough.
That should be enough for now, yes. So there's that, which is also new, which is also pretty cool. The terminal and the editor are not really suitable for inserting double width characters. So as you may notice, these are wider than the normal ASD stuff. So these Chinese glyphs and stuff, these are double width, and for input, that's not quite working and probably never will. So if you want a wide character-aware term and editor, please write them yourself and contribute them. Thank you very much. But for output it works. So for output it works pretty well. So yeah, you can get creative with that too now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, and now before you think of something new,
Before the next thing pops into my head, yeah, I think that's really it now.
we, for real, say now very much. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.
See you. Thank you for watching.